Hello people and welcome back to our channel. In today's talk we are going to discuss about pass by value and pass by reference in JavaScript. It's very important, however it seems a bit complex, but it's a very fundamental topic in JavaScript, and if you just pay attention to what we are going to have in next few minutes, you will have a solid understanding of pass by values and pass by references in all the programming languages. Alright, let's create the project using npm CLI. We have package.json created, and the only thing that we need to do here in terms of the dependencies, we need node_mon, and we use node_mon for live reload or automatically reload of the server when there is a change in the source code. And let's add another script in our scripts tag here. Let's say it's dev, and the command to run is node_mon index.js. Great, let me create index.js here. And let's have our first statement here as a console log. Perfect. Now let's run the project. We need to use npm to run it. Npm run dev. And dev is the script that we defined here in the script section of the package.json. We have welcome to our course, and if I change something here, we should see the updates on the change. And as you can see here, we have the updated version of the print statement. In order to understand pass by value and pass by reference in JavaScript, you should remember that all primitives in JavaScript are pass by value, and all non-primitives in JavaScript are pass by reference. Okay, and let's understand what is pass by value and what is pass by reference. But before that, we first need to understand what is a value and what is reference. And to understand that, we could go back to variable definition is a name given to a memory location on RAM, right? This is the definition of a variable. And let's define a variable x equal to 100. Now let's see this on a diagram that represents the RAM. This RAM has some locations. When you run the program, your x variable will be assigned any of these location which is free, and the value of your variable will be stored in that location. That location has an address on the RAM, in this case 0x04. That address is unique for this RAM, and the name of this location is the variable that you have declared. So in your program, you know this location with this address with the X identifier, and that's this variable that you have defined. Now, to really understand the values and references, it's quite simple. Your variable x has the value. This 100 is the value, and 0x04 is the reference to this variable x, which is the location on the RAM. So 100 is the value, 0x04 is the reference, and x is the variable. If we go back to program, let's define a function that takes an argument, get that argument and pass it by 1. So here in this case, if I pass variable x to this function definition at call time, then because it's a primitive, x is a number. Because it's a primitive, when you pass x to this function call, it's actually gets copied into the variable n, and this n variable is a complete new variable for this function body. And if we try to add, call this function now, and let's do a console log x. If I save it, we see x is still 100. However, we passed x, we passed x to the function add, and function add increased it with 1. But because it's a primitive, and primitive is a pass by value, in this case, it means that a new variable got created on the RAM, and with a new value. So the changes to this variable is only for this new variable that you have got with the function body. Now if we try to visualize it on this diagram, let's say that at runtime your n variable, when you call the function, got assigned to a location which is 0x02 with value of 100. And when the statement of n plus equal to 1 has executed, then it got increased to 101. Let's see that. Console log n. Now if I run, I see 101 as the print statement for the n variable. So it is same for all primitives. Like, let's say here I have state equal to true. It's a boolean, right? Now if I had a function toggle state, I pass s, and now here if I would say s equal to not s, then again if I want to call this function passing the variable state, now let's console log state, I should still see value true, because whatever changes happened, it's for the s variable, which is a new variable inside this function body. Same as n, you're not changing the actual variable that you passed to this function. And why that? Because it's a pass by value. The value of a state got copied into the s, and s is a new variable on the RAM at runtime. And then we have changed the value of s by this bang operator. If it's true, it will be false. If it's false, it will be gets true, right? Now let's see how pass by reference is different from this. Let's say, and pass by reference is for non-primitive types. Just remember this. Let's say I have a variable person of type object. It has a name, age, and address, right? Now when we run this program, a variable a person will be assigned to one of three location on RAM, in this case here, and the value of this person will be this object. And in order to copy this one, let me see if I can make a text here to make it shorter. Okay. So I think I can reduce the size of this thing. And now we have this object. So when we run this program, the person variable will be assigned to one of the three locations. Here, in this case, 0x07. And the value will be this object. But when we pass this object to a function, then in this case, because it's a non-primitive, the address of person will be passed to the function. Means 0x07 will be passed to the function call. In that case, if you change the variable properties, which are name, age, or address, then it actually affects your person object, because you are dealing with the address. And when the address is same, means you are having the same value. You don't have a different value. The value will be same. So let's see this. Let's say, okay, let's make this even more interesting. Let me create a folder here, libs. Inside this one, let's say I have a people.js, and here I have a function called change address. Here I get a person variable and then a new address. What I then can do is that person.address equal to new address. So we change the address property for this person. Because it's in a different, let's say a library function, then I export it so that we can then import it into our index file here. What we can do, import change address from libs people.js. Now let's call this function change address, pass person object and new address. Let's say in this case USA. But before I call the function, I want to console log person object, right? And after the function call, I am going to console log the same person object, the same variable, to see if this change address affected the variable. Let's see. Before the function call, we have John 37 Germany. We called change address. We passed the person object with a new address, and the address is changed to USA. And why is that? It's because simply that it's an object. Object is a primitive, is non-primitive, and in JavaScript, the non-primitive types, when you pass them to a function, those types are passed by reference. Means that the address of this person object got passed to the function. And when the function is actually pointing to the same address of this person, then any change inside the function will change the person object. And this is how the pass by reference works. It's quite same with most of the programming languages. Like if you have an experience with Java or Kotlin, you will have quite same experience or behavior there. So this is how pass by value and pass by reference works in JavaScript. I hope you have enjoyed. Please feel free to share your ideas, questions, and comments in the comment section below. I will try to answer as much as I can do. Thank you very much, and see you soon.